See, we think and we've been taught that what happens on the inside is determined by what happens around us, but that's an illusion that will keep us stuck forever. Instead of the outside determining what happens on the inside, it's the other way around. It's what's on the inside determines what happens on the outside. The more you're able to live in that experience of love on the inside, you radiate a very positive energy, and life works incredibly. But that's not what we're taught. We're taught that happiness comes from outside. You know, people need to be a certain way. This needs to be a certain way. That needs to be a certain way. And then we go through life fighting and resisting life, trying to force people in life to be a certain way, thinking that that will somehow bring us to happiness, but it actually produces the exact opposite result. One of the ways that we create our lives. You know, it's interesting. You know, the type of circumstances that show up in each person's life are so different. The things that show up in my life are totally different than what shows up in your life, which is totally different than what shows up in the next person's life. The type of things that show up in each person's life are totally separate. But what shows up in each person's life keeps showing up. Look in your life and notice that the same things in your life keep showing up again and again and again. And what shows up in your life is going to be totally different than the circumstances that show up in the life of the person sitting next to you. What shows up in each person's life is different because we create those circumstances. Life doesn't just happen. We interact with life in a particular way, and life responds accordingly. How many of y'all notice that there's certain areas of your life that don't work, and that those areas consistently don't work? And they may clear up from time to time, but they keep coming back. How many of y'all notice that? You see, that's the way it is with everybody. But what we don't notice is that we create that. Not only that, what will be seen is we actually force that into existence. Now, one of the most powerful ways that we create is through the law of resistance. Whatever you resist, whatever it is, no matter what you resist, the very act of resisting is going to magnify and give power to whatever you resist. Give you some examples. Imagine on the ceiling above you 4 large yellow balloons. Now, whatever you do, don't think about them. What happens when you try not to think about them? You think about them. The more you fight the yellow balloons, the more yellow balloons you got. The same principle applies in every area of life. Have you ever had a relationship with somebody where that person had a particular characteristic that you couldn't stand and you resisted that characteristic? What happens to the characteristic when you fight it? It grows, it magnifies, and it grows not only in your perception, but it actually shows up more in the physical world around you. Another example. Okay, let's say that you and I have a relationship, and I'm resisting losing you. So in my resisting losing you, I hang on, which of course pushes you away. Look at fear. A fear, see, what we'll see in a little bit is that upsets are never caused by what happens. Upsets are caused by fighting and resisting what happens. A fear is caused by fighting and resisting some future event. So if I have a fear of losing her, I'm resisting this future event called losing her. The more I resist losing her, the bigger my fear. The bigger my fear, the more I'm threatened. The more I'm threatened, the more I hang on. The more I hang on, the more I push her away, which brings to me my fear. So look in your life and notice that whatever you resist in life keeps showing up over and over and over. Notice that whatever you fear in life keeps showing up over and over and over. And one thing that's very interesting is that what we resist is the truth. What we fight and resist is the truth. What's so is always what's so. The people at any moment, the people in your life are the way that they are. You are the way that you are. The circumstances of your life are the way that they are. What's so is always what's so. And our feelings about it are always totally separate from the truth. There's the truth of the way things are, and then there's our feelings about it. They are never connected. My wife and I have a black and white cat. That cat won't bark. And I can yell at the cat, I can scream at the cat, I can plead with the cat, I can rationalize with the cat. It doesn't make any difference. No matter what I do, that cat won't bark. What we're going to be seeing as we go on today is that any time there's a relationship that isn't working, anytime there is an area of your life that isn't working, every single time there will be a cat that's not barking. And you're fighting it. And in the fighting of the truth, you set in motion a number of very destructive processes that actually makes everything worse. Hello, I'm Bill Ferguson. Life doesn't just happen. We create our lives. We interact with life in a very particular way, and life responds accordingly. When you can see why your life is the way that it is, you become more able to determine how your life is going to be. You have it within you the ability to create an incredible life. The problem areas of your life can get resolved, and you can have your dreams come true. But this won't happen by itself. You have to grow in your awareness, you need to do some inner healing, and you need to take action. But you can do it. All it takes is you. But you got to know how. And I can walk you through the steps. So come join us. You can learn more by visiting billferguson.com. We'll hope to see you soon. Bye.